Hey, how's it going, everybody? Connor, nice to see you. Sadly, not so great. Sorry, I'm just adjusting my audio. Make sure I'm not too loud. But yeah, unfortunately, my car officially died today, so I have to figure out about getting a new car somehow. But thank you for asking, and not sure if you're still here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna wait a minute or two before we get on to the tier list. See if anyone pops up on stream. Hopefully everybody's having better days than I am. Alright. Hey Elijah, how are you doing? I mean, I appreciate it, Connor. There's just not much I can do, you know. Life happens. But I hope you're doing well, Connor. Alright, yeah. I think we're about ready to get started. Also, let me know about the volumes, whether if the music's too low or too high. Doing good, woke up from a nap. Also, sorry about what happened to your car. I appreciate it, Elijah, but glad you're doing well, though. Yeah, since tier list won the poll, I decided we should do some tier lists. So I got a couple options. You're doing pretty good yourself. That's good to hear, Connor. Got a couple options. So we got either we can do a Godzilla Kaiju tier list. We could do a Kamen Rider tier list. Or we can do an Ultraman tier list. What do you guys think? School sucks, so I'm sorry to hear about that, Connor, but I mean, summer's around the corner, so you should be getting out soon. You'll have summer vacation, you got a couple months. So hang in there. Any suggestions on what to do, guys? which one you would like to do first, or what might be the whole stream. I'm not sure how long I'm going to be streaming, I'll be honest. Are there no indie Tokutyos? Well, first of all, hey Hombre, how are you doing? I'm not sure if there is any indie tier list. I didn't look. It's just more of like I chose topics that I feel like I have some sort of knowledge on, so there probably is an indie Toku tier list. It's just more of I'm not as knowledgeable about indie Toku as I am, say, with Godzilla, Kamen Rider, Ultraman. So we got Connor suggesting the Kaiju tier list. I have to say Kamen Rider 1, I'm still new to Ultraman 1. I'm not sure if the Godzilla 1 is just for Kingdom Monsters or so. Elijah, just so you know, the Kaiju tier list is about all the Kaiju, not just Godzilla. I can't just put Godzilla in his own section right here. So if that helps out at all. And also, you don't need to know much about the, topics we're discussing because, like, say for Kamen Rider, I haven't seen all the series yet. So what I'm going to do is rank them based on designs. Hey, Toku Society, how are you doing? We're deciding on which tier list we're trying to start off with. We got one vote for the Godzilla Kaiju. We got one vote for Kamen Riders. And Ultraman's also an option. Yep, so definitely Elijah's voting for Kamen Rider. Alright, so we got a two-way tie between Kamen Rider and Godzilla. If you want to make it a three-way tie, Toku Society, you can. Go with Kamen Rider. Alright, that's 2 for Kamen Rider. Alright. And we're about 10 minutes into the stream, so if anyone else has any objections, I think we are going to do with Kamen Rider designs. Give you guys a couple seconds. Ooh. Okay. So got one vote for Ultraman, one vote for Godzilla, but 2 votes for Kamen Rider. Unfortunately, if Godzilla and Ultraman don't get like one more vote in the next few seconds to make a tie, we are just going to go with the Kamen Rider ones for now. And this list is a bit outdated. I'm going to have to add some more stuff. More suits specifically. There's some suits I want to add onto this. In fact, let me just go look up pictures right now that I can import, I mean, blah. So just as a heads up, I'm not looking at the chat right now since I'm going to be trying to find pictures real quick. So this is a good opportunity to change minds or make it certain that we're doing Kamen Rider. Alright. Yeah, like unfortunately, this list is missing some main writers and some alternate versions of writers. So, from the looks of it, it just needs Revice, Geets, and Gutchard. Not just Revice, Geets, and Gutchard, it also needs Nego, Rider-Man, and I also want to put in, you know, Amazons, the Shin Kamen Rider First, Kamen Rider Black Sun. I think those should be in it, too. Um, hmm. Connor, I believe that's an alternate account if I'm not mistaken, so I'm not counting that as an extra vote. So, but yeah, it'll take a second for me to get these pictures real quick. Let's see. Alright. Let's see. Yep, I thought so, Connor. Alright. Yeah, just looking up the first Kamen Rider first suits now. Just trying to get a good image. Alright. Now I'm gonna see about getting some suits for Kamen Rider Black Sun. And I'm just gonna do the main form for Black Sun. I don't need to get too crazy with it. Let's see. Now we're on to Amazon Omega, then I'll get a picture for Alpha, and then I'll get to Revice, Geets, and Gotchard. So just bear with me for a second. For a second more. I know this has not been the most entertaining of streams. Yet. Alright. Oh. Sure. And Revice. Revice is a little difficult because there's two main writers. Oh wait. Whoops. Wrong one. Here, I'll just take this image from IMDb. Alright. Now we're getting somewhere. Alright, thank you. Whoop. That's not what I want to do. Browse. Let's see. Rider suits. There we go. Okay. So how do we want to rank this? By... I'm going to put S tier. I'm going to call it Let's Go. That's going to be my top. You know, Let's Go. Oh, my... Oh, looks like it's going to be a bit delayed on my end, but that's okay. Shouldn't affect you guys. But yeah, so top tier will be Let's Go for Let's Go Rider Kick. That'll be my top. A tier, No Fear. No. Actually, you know what? No. Yeah, we can just say No Fear, No Pain for Kuga. Or, now you know what? That'll be middle tier because I do Wake Up the Hero on this one. Oh, that just looks awkward. Yeah, so Wake Up the Hero for, that's reference to Black RX. See. Then it's gonna get awkward as we get lower. But No Fear, No Pain on that one. There we go. Alright, and I kind of want to do Count the Medals, but no, that's like for reference to Kamen Rider O's, but no, because Kamen Rider O's is an amazing show, and we're getting to lower tier ones, so well, I'm gonna put this one. I'm done with the song references, I guess. Or no, you know what? Fear, Pain. There we go. That will be bottom tier is Fear and Pain. Opposite of No Fear, No Pain. But what to call C tier? Any suggestions of what we call C tier? By the way, this is just for designs. Let's see. I don't know, I've never watched it. You should watch some Kamen Rider, Connor. It's pretty fun. I think we should call C tier. think I'm gonna name him after, I believe Shinji's Ryuki, right? I'm double checking real quick. Pretty sure that's the name of the main character. Yep, Shinji. Yeah. And it's not that I hate Shinji, but Shinji's kind of a dummy, so... You know, and that's like canon in the show, so... We don't have to worry about that. Alright, so... I'm going to try to do things in chronological order. So, let's start with... Kamen Rider Ichigo. That's immediate top tier. You know, it's like very much iconic design, and I know people have preference for some of the earlier iterations of the design, but honestly, the one with the silver gloves, just it's peak. It's peak. It's easy to draw. It's iconic. It's what you think of when you think of Kamen Rider. So for Nigo, I'll put him in top tier because there's not much differences other than red gloves and just one stripe instead of two. But I will say I'm not the biggest fan of the red gloves, so it's gonna be definitely near the end of the list or top tier list. Next up is V3. I know fans sort of like trash the show design, like for this suit. While I don't think it's top tier, I still think it's really good suit. You know, it's sort of like, one, it has the double typhoon, and I don't know, I really like the split between red and green, the red mask. It's a really cool design. Yep, so not much to say. I will say, you know, we will get to a top tier V3 design here, and I just realized we are still missing riders here, but we'll add them later. I already started the list. Anyway, next is X Rider. And you know, and I'm just a Showa era fanboy, so I'm inclined to put him in Wake Up the Hero, so A tier. Yeah, you know, I will. I like X's design. You know, I like sort of the gray silver aspect to it. Amazon, this is OG Amazon, and that's top tier. I love the more reptilian and organic nature to this run. While it still has like the scarf and the belt, and also obviously the gloves, I just love how more monstrous Amazon looks. Now, Stronger. Kamen Rider Stronger. I know people like to make fun of the shoulder pads and the eyes. But again, this is my show era bias showing, and I think he's A tier. Like at first, like, if you asked me before I started watching Stronger, I probably would have put him here. But honestly, I think he's there. I think the design works. It may be a little silly. It's definitely very campy, but I think it works. Alright. So we're gonna go with Skyrider now, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a fan of this suit, even though it's basically trying to do another version of Ichigo and Nigo. I'm not a fan of it, you know, I'm not a fan of the long scarf. Hey MC Spectre, how are you doing? And yeah, Stronger is Giga Chad of Show era. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Skyrider suit. I don't. I feel like putting in the bottom is too mean-spirited, but at the same time, I'm not sure how many bottom tier lists are we gonna go to. I'll put him in the bottom for now, unless I find another suit that I just adamantly dislike. But yeah, I don't really care for Skyriders. I like the darker colors. I mean, that's fair. I just personally I don't like the really long scarf and just the sleeves. You know, they don't really work out for me. I don't know. Super One, it's kind of in between there, I'll be honest. And it's simply because I don't know, even though I like the silver nature to it, it's the gloves. You know, the gloves I kind of don't care for. I'll put them up here, you know. But overall, meh. Have you played Godzilla Omniverse yet? I haven't had a chance. I've been very busy lately, Connor. Alright. Next up is Kamen Rider Black. Really love the suit. I love how it's, you know, I love how this one updates the classic suit. Wasp motive is cool. True. But I'm not a fan of wasps in person. In fact, I'm terrified of wasps. So that might just keep it in mid, you know, sort of in the middle. But yeah, anyway, Black I really like, and there's a bit of a nostalgic factor to it. I'll put it on top of Wake Up the Hero, but it's not quite S tier. Not for me, at least. You know, I'll put Black RX, you know, right next to Black, you know. Again, I really love it. It's just not S tier for me. But I will say, there's a lot less Black on Black RX than there is on Kamen Rider Black. But I do like the helmet of Black RX. I really do love that aspect. Next up is Kuga. Well, we're skipping Z-Cross, Original Shin, Zeto, and J. I'll try to find those later after we get through this initial list. But yeah, for Kuga, let's see. Kuga is definitely top tier. I think I like it more than Negos, but not much more than Ichigo's. But it's very iconic, you know, I love the red, you know, red on black. Red's my favorite color. But yeah, Kuga is just a really great updated design. And also I really love the beetle motif. Agito. Agito. Again, honestly, that's not bad, but it's not doing it for me. I don't know. Maybe it's because I haven't watched Agito yet, but I think that one's just gonna be like more of a sort of in the middle. It's good. Just I don't know. I'm not really a fan of the gold yellow, I guess. Yuki. I'll be honest, I'm sort of mixed between Yuki as well. I like how they're I mean again, Agito and Ryuki both have the dragon aspect. I do like Yuki's like design a bit more. But personally, I think the designs of the other riders in Kamen Rider Yuki are just stronger than the main riders, if I'm being honest. Fies is a series I need to get watching as well. A lot of these series I haven't watched yet, but this one is a solid A tier list. I don't know, I really like the techno aspect to this. Hmm. I think I'll put it... Yeah, I'll put it in front of V3, but behind Black and Black RX. Next up is Blade. Yeah, sort of in the middle again. I'll put it above Agito. I do like the shark motif and the spade on his chest, but I don't know. I'm like I said, I guess I have more of a Showa era rider bias, but don't worry, we'll be getting to Heisei top tiers in a little bit. Hibiki. Oh, I'm definitely not putting in the bottom. I don't want to put him in C tier either. But the thing with Hibiki is just he's not a writer, but I really love the design. You know what? No, I'm going to be generous, so I'm just going to put him at the end of A tier. Kabuto, on the other hand, I'll put him right in front of Black, on top of A tier. I think Kabuto's design is very slick. I really like the beetle aspect. Again, and yeah, I love the helmet with the red on top of blue. I really like the colors as well. Deno. I haven't had much experience with Deno, but there's a lot about the suit that I do like. I'll put it on top of B tier. I like how the train, tracks are sort of like in the middle of the suit. I love the helmet, how that splits and how the visor and the antennas work together. I think there's a lot to like about that suit. Kiva. Where to put Kiva? I haven't had much exposure to Kiva, but I know my friend Andy, he might not like me saying this, but I think I'm going to put him in C tier. I don't know. I guess I just don't have any strong opinions on Kiva's suit in general. That's probably why. I mean, I like the gothic, aesthetic, but it's just not doing it to me. But you know what? I will put Super 1 in C tier as well. If I'm going to put Kiva in C tier, I'm definitely going to put Super 1 in C tier. I think that's fair. Decade. Alright. Decade. So there should be aspects about Decade's design that I shouldn't like, but I think it's a solid B tier. Like, I like the pink and black. I like how silly the helmet is with the cards. I do think there's a lot going on with, going well for Decade's design that just works, even though it probably shouldn't. Alright, Kamen Devil. I think it should be bottom tier. No, I'm just kidding. It's number one. It is number one of ones. King of Kings. Like, Double is just peak design. And I am tempted to just give Double his own tier because it is that good. Like, the symmetry and just the dual aspect of Double's design. It just... chef's kiss. It's amazing. Now, next is Taka, Tora, Bata, Tatoba, Tatoba, Tatoba. Kamen Rider O's. I think I'm going to put him in S tier. I'll put him above Nigo and Amazon. I'll put him above Kuga as well, but I'm not going to put him above Ichigo. I do generally like O's design. I like the sort of like the red, yellow and green, you know, just how that works. It really works well. It has its own vibe. I just love how everything works together. Fours is an interesting design. Not very Kamen Rider aspect, but I think this is because the suit actor. Oh, oh, thank you for joining in, Connor. If we don't see you back in the stream, have a good night. Fours is a fun design. I'll put him right behind Deno. I don't know. Because again, you know, there's aspects where it's just like not very Kamen Rider, but it's really fun. Now Kiva is going... I'm going to put him right there. And one, it's red on black again. Red's definitely a favorite color, so there's that bias. But it's the bottom part, you know, it's the bottom half of the design. You know, that coat, you know, and just I think that works. I think that works really well. And there's a lot that works well with Wizard's design. You know, it's like the very long coat makes it look like he has a cape, but it's not as free flowing. You know, so it's a little bit constricted, but it's like it's really cool. I think it's cooler than a cape. But yeah, I think, and also with like the more crystal or reflective, you know, red body, it's a really cool design. Now next is our Fruit Samurai. Not a Fruit Ninja, Fruit Samurai, which is Gaim. I should put him in C. I should put him there. But it's not very Kamen Rider, but you know what? No, it's gonna be in top 3 of B right now because it's I love. I don't know. The orange and blue works for me. It works well enough. All right. Next up is Drive. I'll put him next to Hibiki. You know, I think it's a really sleek and cool design. And you know, I think maybe the tire works really well. I think that it's a really good design. It's again like Hibiki, you know. Well, I would say Drive looks more like a rider than Hibiki, but you know, I don't know. I just like the design. I think it looks cool. Alright. Now Ghost. Yeah, I'll be honest. Ghost is not doing much for me. I'm gonna put him in bottom tier. You know, it's just there's a lot of the design that just it doesn't work with me. I don't really care for the body, you know, and sort of like how the jacket fits onto Ghost. The helmet's okay. It's just I'm just not a big fan of Ghost's overall design. Now, if we're going to talk about a Kamen Rider that looks absolutely nothing like a Kamen Rider, it's X-Aid. I haven't watched X-Aid yet. I just know this does not look like a Kamen Rider. But it's an A tier. I'm sorry. It's so anime. You know, the pink and green works well with each other. I like it. Even though it's not Kamen Rider at all, I like it. I'm sort of torn between where to put Heavy. I think I like him more than Hibiki, I'll be honest. Really cool design. I understand why Thomas Jujubee, I think that's how you say his name. I understand why he chose X8 sort of as like has his good like go-to writer design for his channel. Next is Build. I haven't watched Build, but I can tell you that is a top tier design. That is definitely top tier. It sort of has some similar going on with Double, but it's not. But it's more asymmetrical. I sort of really like how the colors wrap around the body. I think it's a good design. It's a really good design. Next up is Zio, the Clockman. I don't know. I think overall it's sort of a miss, but I do like the details. I like the details of it, even though overall I don't think it's that great. I think I'm gonna put it bottom B tier because I do like some of the design aspects, like how the center is a watch wristband. I like how the helmet spells out Rider. The belt I'm not too big of a fan of, but I think the details just are strong enough for me to really put it up in B tier. Alright. Next up is 010101. I'll put 01 in top of B tier. It's sort of a nice, like an interesting take on the, Ichigo design, the Hopper design. I do like the bright neon green on top of black. For me, though, it sort of doesn't work for me when it comes to, I will put them below the known fours, and I think I like how they went with the Masca. Hey Connor, welcome back. I get what they were doing with like the helmet, how sort of it's like the mask is in front, so I kind of like it, but I don't know, I don't like it. Only works in certain angles, I feel. It doesn't work well with others, so I'm gonna put it in B tier. Next up is Saber. I will put Saber on top and bottom of A tier. I think that's just a really cool design. That's not higher because there's some things I don't particularly care about it, but I do love the fire element about it. I love how the fire makes up the visor. It's really cool. The sword being in the middle, the dragon on the shoulder. There's a lot about Saber's design that I think works well. Alright. And we're going to stick with, the main Revo heroes. And so Revice. So this is a 2-in-1 deal. And I don't know. I would put this higher maybe if it was just Revi and not Vice. But because it's both Revi and Vice, I gotta put it in C tier because I like Revi's design, but I'm not a fan of Vice's design, like at all. I mean, okay, to be fair, I like T-Rexes, so it has that going for me, but there's quite a bit of the design that I just don't care for Vice. Meanwhile, Revi's, it's pretty good. If it was just Revi's, I would put it in B, but otherwise, nah, C tier. Alright. Next is Geats, and you know what? I will put Geats in the bottom of S tier. I like the fox design. I love how the helmet shapes out the fox. I love how I think the belt works really well with it. The white and orange on black. I think it's a very solid design, and plus the white scarf, the white muffler, I should say. I think it works really well. Alright. And then finally Gotchard. I'll put him in the middle of B tier. I'll separate the show riders. I think there's I think it's a pretty great design. I don't really have any strong complaints about it. I guess other than the belt, I think the belt is that one, and I think some of the like other designs for Gotchard go better. By the way, no spoilers, please. I haven't caught up yet. I do just know about the designs, but I think base Gotchard is a solid A tier. Other suit designs for Gotchard though, like other forms, I think they would be an S tier. Alright. Oh, I forgot about Rider Man. I know people would love to put Rider Man in F tier. Or D tier, or whatever, bottom tier. I'm gonna be nice. I will put him in the bottom of B tier because even though it's very silly and his mouth is like in the open, I think the design can work. The design works, but I can understand why people don't dig Rider Man's design. Alright. Next up, I'll do Kamen Rider first, Ichigo, and Nigo. And I'll be honest, I am not the strongest fan of the first suits. I think they're great, but they're not my favorite version of Ichigo, and I don't even think they're better than what we get for the original. I think they're a bit of a downgrade, but they do still have a lot of elements from the original series, so obviously I like them, but overall I think they're bottom A tier. I put Nigo's on top of Ichigo's. They're about even, but I think I'm just more of a fan of the silver mouth guard, if I'm being honest. But what about V3? Even though I just said, I'm not the biggest fan of, Ichigo and Nigo's designs for the first and next, I do dig V3's design. I think V3's design is above Showa era V3. I think they did a lot of work to really revamp that design for the modern age. I think it works well. I don't know why I prefer it over Ichigo and Nigo's. I just do. But I think part of it too is though it's that we got Shin Kamen Rider, and I think those are my preferred for like updated versions of Ichigo and Nigo. But before we get to Shin Kamen Rider, I will do Amazon. So Amazon Omega, I will put in B tier. I'll put them lower in B tier. I like the red and green, but it's the helmet. It doesn't work well for Amazon. Like from my particular take on Amazon, especially since the character's supposed to be, eating people. It doesn't work as well as me for the original Amazon. However, Amazon Alpha, oh yeah, that design slaps. I wish, tier list wouldn't like crop out the heads, but oh well. But yeah, I think Alpha I think I like it more than Amazon's. I like how wild it is, but still pretty modern. I like how the helmet is still in line with the original Amazon. I think it's a solid top tier suit. Alright. Now to get to Shin Kamen Rider, I'm gonna put... Okay. So I'm gonna put Ichigo behind, like Shin Ichigo behind OG Ichigo. But I'm gonna put Shinigo above OG Ichigo. And especially the one, the helmet's like cropped out, but I can probably show you a picture real quick. You know, I guess spoilers for Shin Kamen Rider. But the helmet, I really like how beautiful the helmet is, and I think I like this overall design. I think that's like my preferred original. Hey Andy, how's it going? I'm so glad you came. You're not gonna like where I put Kiva. I'm doing writer design tier list. How are you doing tonight, man? Now I do have to find more designs, but because we have to talk about Zeto, Shin, Zeto, and J. No, I'm sorry, Zekross, Shin, Zeto, and J, because they weren't on here. Before that, we'll get to Black Sun. And Black Sun, solid A tier. Hey, Boiler Pan, how you doing? But yeah, sorry, Andy. Kiva's in C tier. But yeah, I'll put Black Sun on top of A tier. I really like, the organic, take. I like how the grasshopper arms are part of the shoulders, or I'm sorry, a little, like above the collarbone. I really like how that design works and how detailed it is. Alright. And because I'm too lazy to get other suits, I'll just say Zekross will be B tier, near the bottom. Zeto and J are top tier, probably in between Nego and Amazon, Alpha, and I'll put Shin bottom of A. Oh, you noticed right away. Like it's not a bad suit, but I'll do this. It is on top of C tier. It's just I don't think there's anything wrong with the suit. It doesn't do anything for me if I'm being honest. I'll remember this. Probably. Oh no. Alright, so that's my Kamen Rider suit tier list for the main riders. You're doing well trying multiverses. Nice. Let me know how that is. Alright. I think I can do one more tier list, so I know Connor has been asking to do Godzilla Kaiju. It's either that or Ultraman Designs. What do you guys think? I got enough time for one more tier list. I got enough energy. If I don't hear any objections, I will be going to doing a Kaiju, like Godzilla Kaiju tier list. The other option is, again, we talk about Ultraman Designs. A lot less varied than Kamen Riders. give you guys a second to decide. Because right now we got one vote for Kaiju tier list. Let's see. And by the way, yes, this is like all of Godzilla's Kaiju. And this is most of Ultraman's designs. It's not updated. I think it only got updated to Z. Okay, we got 2 for Kaiju. Alright, I'm going to start counting down. 10, 9, last chance to put any more votes for Ultraman. Because otherwise, it's going to be Godzilla Kaiju. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright. And dramatic pause. Alright. 2 votes for Kaiju. That's kind of... So. Alright, so I already started off. But the thing is, I kind of want to just do Godzilla Kaiju without Godzilla. Godzilla's just gonna have his own tier list. And I sort of, with what's displayed here. You know what, actually... I'll move that one there. I sort of have Godzilla's ranked from favorite to least favorite, with Earth and Ultima being in the bottom, and Heisei being top, but I mean, really, Kamada-kun is the best Godzilla design, if we're being honest. Like, it's peak Godzilla. I will say, before we continue on, would you consider Godzillasaurus Godzilla or as its own kaiju? So, because that's like, I was very hesitant to put Godzillasaurus in the same list, and I guess to be fair, I should have put, like the first version of Godzilla we see in -1, separate if we're doing Godzillasaurus separate because it's technically Godzillasaurus, but considering in the movie they call him Godzilla in this form, I opted to just keep him Godzilla. What are you feeling about Godzillasaurus? Is it a Godzilla or is it not a Godzilla? Leave your comments. Enter your comments now. Connor saying, yeah, it counts as Godzilla. Anyone else have objections? I think maybe count as Godzilla. Alright. Alright. I say count as Godzilla. Okay. Alright. We'll count it as a Godzilla. In which case, I'll put it right there. I think it's a solid design. I mean, all Godzilla's designs are pretty solid. But Kamada-kun's the best. I think we can all agree on that. Right. But I will say, Godzilla's children don't count. Well, except for Junior, because at that point, Junior here has taken on the mantle of Godzilla, so that counts. No, I'm not going to put Manila and Baby Goji in there. They are their own kaiju, and they got their own design, so they're going to be separate, Connor. I'm putting my foot down on there. Because I'll be honest, Connor, if I put Minya in the Godzilla tier list, Minya would be above Kamada-kun. I mean, it's just, that's the law. Like I couldn't, if we were to put Minya as Godzilla, Minya would be top tier Godzilla. Like the best of Godzilla is just, it's the law. And especially if I were to do this list on Manila Monday. But I think we should get started on the rest of the kaiju. Now, I don't think I'm going to be ranking on every form here. I think, there's several versions of Ghidorah and several versions of Mothra. I think I'm too tired to do that, so I'm just going to pick my favorite take on those kaiju. Are both versions of Manila on there? Let me check. It feels like it should be, but I'm not seeing it. I'm only seeing Showa. But I think, I'm not going to do every form or every design of, each kaiju. I don't think I have the energy for it. So I'm just basically going to pick from this my favorite take of each kaiju. So again, how there's several Ghidorahs. I'm not going to, ranking each one of them. But I will say I am counting Death Ghidorah separate from King Ghidorah. So, with that out of the way, Hedorah, our smog monster, our polluted girl. Hedorah's an A tier. I think she is a really great kaiju. Not my favorite of the Godzilla kaiju, but she's definitely top tier. Top tier Godzilla kaiju in my opinion. And I love how she's in Gigabash. Next up is Destoroyah. And I'm going to do final form Destoroyah. And Devil Kaiju, yeah, top tier. Top tier for sure. Next up is Mechagodzilla / Kiryu. So, I'm gonna be real with you, with y'all right now. Mechagodzilla is my favorite Godzilla kaiju outside of Godzilla himself. I know that might be sounded cheap, but no, I really like how I like Mechagodzilla. I just like how, it's destructive he is and sort of the robotic nature. And I will be honest, I do think Showa is still my favorite take on Mechagodzilla just because I find that version of Mechagodzilla to be the most destructive. Right. I think this is representing Showa Anguirus, and I'll just double check. But I will say I do favor Anguirus. I think Anguirus is top tier, above Hedorah, but not above Mechagodzilla. yeah, Jet Jaguar is obviously top tier. I mean, it's Jet Jaguar. You don't diss Jet Jaguar. Alright. Megalon, put him for B for Bully. I don't know, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of Godzilla vs. Megalon, but I do like Megalon as a design, and I really love how cheap Megalon was and the Pipeline trilogy. But for me specifically, it would be Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee and Godzilla, the Wii one. I forgot the name of it because it's not Save the Earth. I don't think it's Domination, but you know, Wii one. But yeah, Megalon's pretty cheap because he can dig. But yeah, B for Bully. Biolante is top tier. Put her below Anguirus, but above Hedorah and Megalon. I think just plant kaiju are rad, and we don't have enough of them. Mothra. Okay, Queen of the Monsters. But we got a couple of takes here. Because we got Showa, we got Larva. I'll count Larva and Mothra as one. We got Heisei, we got GMK, we got Final Wars, we got Leo, Rainbow, Aqua, you name it. We got the Mothras. We got the Monster vs. Mothra. And I'm gonna be honest, I think I'm gonna choose Final War / Tokyo SOS is my favorite Mothra design. But I'll be honest, hot take maybe, Monster vs. Mothra has become like second favorite Mothra design. But I just think Mothra is like the one in Tokyo SOS is like perfects what Showa tried to do. But Mothra is right behind Mechagodzilla for me. And next up is King Ghidorah. Now, I will say I'm not the biggest fan of GMK Ghidorah's design, but I get why Ghidorah and GMK's design like that. I do. For me though, I kind of want to choose Heisei Ghidorah for spitefulness, for being spiteful. And I will put Ghidorah. I don't know which side of Jet Jaguar he should be. I mean, I feel like we gotta put Ghidorah below Jet Jaguar. But yeah, I'm gonna put Heisei Ghidorah. And A tier, like top tier, below Jet Jaguar. Ghidorah should be filed under J for Jabroni. You think Ghidorah's a jabroni? Is that what we're doing, Andy? And I will say, I did record a video about Heisei Ghidorah specifically. That I think it's going to be interesting because it's an aspect that I think people don't talk about. Death Ghidorah is really cool though. Yes. And when we get to Death Ghidorah, I count Death Ghidorah separately than regular Ghidorah. I think Death Ghidorah is different enough than the other versions of Ghidorah that will be put on its own spot. But yeah, I have a video about Heisei Ghidorah, coming up somewhere in the pipeline. I'll probably do a poll, next week maybe about videos. See what you guys want to see next. But yeah, anyway, next we got Baragon. Alright, so I do think I prefer Showa era Baragon's design, and that could be the Ultraman bias talking because that poor Baragon suit got so abused in the Ultra shows. It got so abused. But you know what? I know. I just think Godzilla has a lot of top tier kaiju. I'll put Baragon below Biollante. But they're still top tier. And it was definitely nice meeting the suit actress for Baragon at All Monsters Attack last year. She was so nice. Baragon is a cute little guy. Alright, next up is King Kong. Look at that goofy little guy. The goofy little guy in King Kong vs. Godzilla who thinks it could go up against Godzilla. You know, like the expression King Kong makes in King Kong vs. Godzilla when Godzilla throws in the, shoots the atomic blast. That was like the moment where he's like, "Oh, I regret all my life choices." But no, I think I'm definitely gonna go with Monster vs. Kong on this one. Top tier. Or you know what? F. This is a Godzilla Kaiju tier list. Kong doesn't belong here. Actually, you know what? No, guys, what do you think? Does Kong count as Godzilla Kaiju? Yes or no? If not, we will give Kong his own tier. I'll go ahead and rank my next Kaiju while you guys decide. Right now, Kong will be an F because we're Team Godzilla here. This is a Team Godzilla stream. Okay, we got one vote that says Kong is a Godzilla Kaiju. Oh, okay, we got two that says Kong is a Godzilla Kaiju. Alright, in that case, Kong has to go with A tier. But below Baragon. Hang on, give me 1 second to take a drink because my sword is starting to get sore. Sorry about that. Ice cubes got in my mouth. I didn't want to have you guys hear me crunching on ice cubes. Alright, so we're going to put Kong in A, but below Baragon. And I will put Mechanicon. You know, I'll put Mechanicon on B. I like Mechanicon's design, but the thing about Mechanicon, he's pretty useless in the movie. And King Kong escapes. Does Space Godzilla count as a Goji? No. If Mecha Godzilla doesn't count as a Goji, Space Godzilla is not counting as a Goji. Yeah, I'm gonna put Gorosaurus and Mechanicon B. I might put Mechanicon in C because again, but I think the reason why Mechanicon is in B because I love the design. I think it's a really fantastic design. But, big but here. He's useless in King Kong Escapes. He can't do what he was designed to do in the first place, and he gets his butt whooped by Kong. Gorosaurus is cool. Even though he's just sort of a big dinosaur, he dropkicked Ghidorah, and that's just cool. Next up is Rodan. Alright. Now, personally, you know what, for the sake of because I don't think 1956 Rodan is going to be on here, so I am going to put MonsterVerse Rodan on here. I think that's my second favorite design of Rodan. And Rodan, right below Jet Jaguar, right above King Ghidorah. Rodan is just a really cool kaiju. And no, I am not going to count Fire Rodan and Rodan separately. Fire Rodan is still Rodan. But yeah, no, Rodan is one of my favorite kaiju. I love the Starscream personality in the MonsterVerse. But I also like how the Firebird aesthetic is. Alright. Manda. I'm gonna put him C tier. Manda's a C tier. I'm sorry. Just a big old snake sea serpent kaiju. Well, actually, I forgot the MonsterVerse version of Manda is on here. I'm still going to say C tier. Okay, guys, this next choice might be unbelievable. This next kaiju is unbelievable. It's Varan. Manda is not peak, Connor. Alright, Manda gets its butt whooped so many times. And you know what? I'm putting Manda in C out of pity. But not my least favorite. But Varan, the unbelievable, top of B. Top of B, you know? Very unique design, love him. Wish we could see more of Varan. I think Varan's a cool kaiju, but we just don't see much of him. Alright. Ready for this one? Ebra's in D. I'm not the biggest fan of Ebra. I mean, don't get me wrong. Ebra is a threatening kaiju to humans in his own movie. Ebra against other kaiju? Nothing. Like in his own movie, he gets beaten by Godzilla twice. You know, it's like the movie's called Ebra Horror of the Deep, but yeah, he gets owned by Godzilla twice in that movie. And in Final Wars, he gets taken down not just by humans, but by humans that don't even have any vehicles. Ebra is not the best kaiju. That's a lie, Connor, and you know it. Ghidorah, though. I like myself a squid kaiju, but I'll put him bottom B. Yeah. I think Ghidorah's cool. I forgot its name. It's from Space Amoeba. It's the same from where Ghidorah is, but actually, you know what? It's gonna be our first F tier kaiju. I mean, here's the thing. At least Ebra has a pretty cool design, even though it's just a giant shrimp. This kaiju. Like the fact that I don't remember its name goes to show you just how much I care about this. Ghidorah's kind of funky looking, and that's why Ghidorah's in B. That funky look, it goes for Ghidorah. But yeah, the fact that I don't even remember this kaiju, and I think it's just a worse version of Ebra, it's an F tier. Um, this one is another kaiju. I forgot the name, but even though the fact that I'm like, oh yeah, I don't remember the name for this guy, I hate him. But even though I don't remember the name for this guy, I'm gonna put him in C tier. Why? Because he's a turtle, and I like turtles. Turtles are cool. I think they're neat. They are unfortunately filled with lots of turtle meat. Just please don't be eating camera. Next up is Sanda and Gyra. Komabase, thank you, Connor. Thank you. But next up is Sanda and Gyra. Okay. I think they're solid A tier. You know, here's the thing: if they go up against Godzilla, they're getting their butts whooped. But the best fight, but they did have a good fight with Godzilla in Godzilla Rose of Earth. Godzilla already messed up Kamabas. Don't remind me, Andy. That's the one aspect of Tokyo SOS I block out. But yeah, Sanda and Gyra, they're top tier. You know, even though, yeah, they're not going to be going up against Godzilla any moment. I think they're great, though. You know, I think the humanoid aspect of them actually makes them more terrifying, especially Gyra. That's why Gyra is above Sanda, you know, here, but... Alright. Very, so... Oh, I skipped Titanosaurus on accident. Whoops. Too bad I don't have a soundboard. Or I would have put the... some sort of failure noise, but... Skeletal... Skeleturtle is God tier. Indeed, is Skeleturtle in here? But I don't see Skeleturtle in here though. So this is a failure of a list. But anyway, Titanosaurus. I'm gonna put them on top of B tier. I really like Titanosaurus, but I don't think they're A tier level. I think they're really great, but just not quite A tier. Alright. If we were talking about the Ultra Q version of this guy, maybe D, C tier, F tier. I haven't even seen Gorath, but I can definitely say Giant Walrus does not need to exist. I mean, I like walruses, and I like the walrus used in Ultra Q. But when it comes to Godzilla Kaiju, it's F tier. F tier for sure. Space Godzilla. I know people have mixed opinions about the movie, but let me tell you, some Space Godzilla is top tier. Yeah, I'll put Space Godzilla above Biollante. What are you gonna do about it, huh? What are you gonna do about it? Space Godzilla is top tier. Grant, yeah, I had to put Space Godzilla below Anguirus, you know, but Space Godzilla's cool. You know, love the crystals. I love the purple. I love them. Now we can get to Batra. Put Batra below Biollante, but definitely top tier. Evil Mothra is GOAT. What can I say? Alright. Oh, wait, hang on. I gotta switch out Mothra real quick because I just saw Tokyo SOS version. So there we go. Mecha King Ghidorah, B tier. Right about there. Not my favorite of mechas, even though I just put Mecha King Ghidorah above Mechanicon. But it's just more of a cyborg. And I don't know, it's very stiff looking, honestly, for a mech. Or just at least for a Ghidorah. But I still think Mecha Ghidorah is pretty cool. Technically, Boss, Space G, and Orga are all cousins. Yeah, that is true. But before we can get to Orga, we have to go through... We got to talk about Megaguirus. Not gonna lie, it's not B tier, but I will put Megaguirus atop of C tier. You know, I'm conflicted between C tier and B tier for Megaguirus. You know, I'll be nice and put Megaguirus in B tier. I think the design is pretty cool, even though the problem is it's a little more derivative of Batra design, you know, for one. Like, it's too similar to Batra. And also the movie, like, okay, the movie may be F tier, but I think Megaguirus herself is good enough to be in B tier. Alright. Next up is Orga. I think Orga is a solid B tier, but I'll put him below Megalon. But I really dig the design. You know, I love the big huge hands, you know. And sort of like Orga's head. And I'll be honest, I don't really count Orga as a Godzilla clone. I mean, obviously when he like absorbs more of Godzilla's energy, he does, but on his own, I think Orga is separate enough from Godzilla that it's definitely like, I don't consider Orga a Godzilla clone in my own head. Next up is Gigan. And we got a couple options for Gigan designs, but it depends on the day because I can go with either Showa or Final Wars Gigan, but I will give Final Wars Gigan a slighter edge because that one does get chainsaws. You know, and I think we should put Gigan, you know, right about an A tier. Is it above Ghidorah? Yes. Yes it is, because it, you know what? Gigan's above Rodan. There, I said it. I mean, Gigan is is a cyborg kaiju with claws or chainsaws for hands, has the red visor. Gigan's peak. Plus, chainsaw belly, one of my favorite all-time kaiju. Alright. Kamacris, or Gigantus. I'll put Kamacris in C tier. I'll put him in top of C tier. And the reason why is because I'm a big fan of praying mantis. Whoop. Just lost my slipper. Alright. Let's see. I'm not going to... Desghidorah. So Desghidorah legitimately scared me as a kid. I'm going to put Desghidorah right below Ghidorah, but Kamacris is Yeah, I mean, fair. You know, Kamakus doesn't do much other than but don't bully Manila, but um, you know, I'm just gonna say I like praying mantis as an insect. It's one of my favorites, so a little biased there. But yeah, the kaiju that Descador. Yeah, I like Descador is just scary. Like it's terrifying. Like especially the war. I mean, like, and that's in a Mothra movie meant for kids. Very terrifying kaiju, and that's why I love them. Next up is Zilla. I mean, if you ask a lot of Godzilla fans, they put him in F. Some Godzilla fans will put him in A. I'm gonna put him in B. Right in the middle. Right there. Look, as a Godzilla design, it can work, but not in the way it executed. But even as, like, and this is Zilla, not Zilla Jr., but even as, like, their own, like, their own kaiju, Zilla is still kind of, like, has a cool design, but gets bodied pretty easy. Like, pretty easily, like, you know, it gets destroyed by missiles and whatnot. Alright, where are we at? Okay. Question. Are we counting Monster X as a separate kaiju, or do we count that as a version of King Ghidorah? What is the consensus about Monster X? Let me know. What are we thinking about Monster X? While you guys think about Monster X, I'm gonna go move on to Mogera. I think this version of Mogera maybe this is just nostalgia talking, but I really dig this version of Mogera. It's a combiner mech. I think it's top tier. Plus the drill for nose. I really just dig Mogera. Especially the one in Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla. So, are we good with counting Monster X as separate kaiju? That's what Connor's saying. Anyone else objects? Speak now in the next 15 seconds, 14 seconds, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, we're gonna say Monster X is separate. In that case... yeah, I'll put him B. Right above. Right there. I think it's a pretty cool design and whatnot. I don't like how... It's a very interesting design. Like, I think there's a lot of stuff that's going for it. I do love the transformation between Monster X to Kaiser Ghidorah. But it's definitely a very humanoid kaiju. Alright. Next up is Minya. Well, I don't think... I'm gonna be honest. I don't think we can put Minya on the tier list as it is. In fact, had it right above. Here's what we're gonna do. By the way, this is just the law, honestly. You know, I have to abide by it. I'm gonna count Geyser as a Ghidorah. It's too similar. It's, you know, too similar to regular Ghidorah. But yeah, Minya. I know a lot of people want him in F, but Minya's got a tier of his own at the very top. We believe in Minya supremacy in this channel. So yeah, Minya's on top. Got it. And Baby Godzilla, very, very, very cute. Very cute. I'll put Baby. You know what? So cute. It'll be above Gigan, but not above Jet Jaguar. Not that cute, but still very cute. Plus, I do love how Baby's like character arcs throughout the Heisei era. Alright. Warbat, a kaiju that looks nothing like a bat and more like a snake. Yeah, I'll put Warbat in B tier. Probably below Megalon. I think it's a very cool design. It's just not a bat. Like, not even close. In fact, the Mitch McConnell bird right here, that's more of a bat-like creature than Warbat. Like, I don't know what they were thinking in the naming convention. I'll put Mitch McConnell, Kaiju in C. I don't know. Very ugly design, but does give us the memes. Very meme-worthy. Alright. So for this one, I'm going to count the Mutos as their own thing. As just one together, so I'll just use this version. Nozuki is a better name for it. Yes, I would agree with that. Calling it anything's better than Warbat as a name. Alright, so Muto. No. You know what? Muto was Hellhawks, yes. That's what they were called, I guess. Anyway, Muto, I'll put in bottom 8. I think the Mutos were a solid, opponent in 2014, and they have a really cool design. I like a lot of aspects to their character, and how they feed on radiation, and use EMPs as an attack. I think they're pretty neat kaiju. Alright, this one's gonna be a D tier. This is from Rebirth of Monster 2, put above Ebera. I don't know, just not a very memorable kaiju. Sort of just a sea dragon. But just again, not very memorable. I'm in D tier. Alright. Drown Viper. I don't know if we got to Drown Viper yet. Alright. So Behemoth. I'm gonna put Behemoth in B. Yeah. I like the giant mammoth kaiju. Or Titan. Whatever. I'm gonna say I'm gonna put Mechanicon at near the bottom of B. But yeah, I like Behemoth. Alright, where were we? So those are Godzilla's forms. So Salunga and Gabra are different kaiju. So I'll put Solonga at the bottom of A because Solonga is a very terrifying kaiju. Like Solonga can be very scary. Not like to us, like to Godzilla, but definitely to us humans. Gavra is gonna be in B for bully. Gonna be right next to Megalon. I think Gabra is a fun design, but does not look much like a toad. I think they kind of didn't do that aspect of the character quite justice in the design. Alright. So Kamakura / Spiga, I'll put in B tier. Right here. And actually I'm gonna put Warbat just a little bit lower. I like Kamakura, but also it's just kind of a giant spider. These guys are pretty funky. I'll put them bottom beer. By the way, I'm going to be rapid firing through these, because my voice is getting tired. Alright, that's a Mega Nulon. I'm going to put them in the same category as Mega Gears. Skullcrawler. I think that's a solid B tier. Above B. I think Skullcrawlers are pretty cool, like enemies for Kong. Very iconic enemies for Kong as well, like what they became. They'll go in D. Forgot their name, but I like how their legs look like bamboo trees. But also just, not very significant as that. Doug is gonna go in D. D for Doug. Top of D. Bison will go in C. For, I don't know, I really like the Bison in Skull Island. Mother long legs. Yep. So we did Hedorah, we did Godzilla, we did Valente. King Caesar is definitely A tier. But we're in A tier. I'll put him above Mogera, but below Hedorah. King Caesar is pretty cool. Scar Buffalo? Ah. Okay. Thank you for giving me the names. Alright. Dorits are going to be on top of C because they're cute. Let's see. Next we got Scar King. F for fraud! No, I'm kidding. Scar King is... You know what? People are going to be mad at me, but I'm going to say Scar King isn't B. He's a bully, but I'm going to say Gabra's a bigger bully than Scar King. But Scar King was a really fun villain in Godzilla x Kong. Really like him as a villain. So that leaves Shimo. I think Shimo's design does... There's a bit that leaves to be a bit desired. But Shimo's a character... I'll put him at the bottom of A. So yeah. I agree, Connor. Shimo is top tier kaiju. Alright, and we're about to be at the end. Oh, that's Skilla, right? I'll put them in C. That one I'm gonna just put in F because I don't know who it is. I like this jelly design, so it's technically not Hedorah. I'll put it in B, they're together. leaf wings. Ah. Well, just from this picture, I'm gonna put an F because I just think they're ugly. The thing. Or Muz Mozilla. And these guys, yeah, D tier. Yep, mentioned Skilla. Yeah, and these are just like either variations or, alternate forms I don't feel like dealing with. So, yeah, there we go. This is the Godzilla Kaiju tier list, and I think that's gonna be all for the stream. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm not sure what I'm going to be streaming next because I got a lot of projects I need to work on, and I got my comic that I need to work on. I was streaming up much longer than I thought it would be. But, yeah. I'm hoping to go to Kaiju Brooklyn this weekend, but now that my car is officially dead, it's not as certain as it was going to be. I mean, I'm going to still try to make it work, but there is now a possible chance I'm not going to be able to make it to Kaiju Brooklyn. But in the case, if I do go Kaiju Brooklyn, still, I'm just going to plan on that. I plan on making a review video about Kaiju Brooklyn, not this week, but next week, like next Friday. Not this Friday, but next Friday. And then the week after, I plan on doing a review of Ultraman Rising. Yeah, but I don't know when my next stream is going to be. But yeah, thank you all so much for tuning in. And I don't know, just let me ramble on about rider designs and kaiju. But yeah, I'll try to let you guys know a little bit more ahead of time when my next stream is going to be. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in. It was nice talking to you guys. And sorry, streams have not been... I haven't streamed in a while, so I apologize for that. But yeah, life's been busy. Yeah, anyway. Yep, have a good night. Take care and